Welcome to the Mantis Show. I am your host, Mantis, coming to you live from my studio inside of my home. And with me this week is Box Watterson.
Oh yeah,
as my audio engineer. He's a participant in the only podcast that features an insect and an inanimate object.
That's
and
true.
A different intro every week.
Well, sometimes a different one every week.
Yeah, I like to say it's a different intro every week. So, man, have you been seeing this new iPhone that's out?
iPhone 8 or
the 10, the X,
10?
the X or 10. I don't know what the fuck to call it.
I don't know. Yeah. I've heard about it, but I don't care about it.
Well, then fuck you.
I'm an Android user, man.
Dude, I get so sick of... So I used to be a total Android fanboy, but I've just noticed looking like review videos on YouTube that Android fans care more about iPhones than iPhone users do.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
They've got like something to prove to where they've got to convert all the iPhone people or they don't feel good about themselves.
They're like new age atheists. You know, that they always got to be like, how could you believe in a god? What are you, stupid?
Yeah, you
fucking
can
asshole.
You can be talking about like Nikes or something, and they're like, "Yeah, well, what do you think about God, huh? Huh?
Yeah.
Or are you an Android user? No? Oh, well then you're fucking stupid."
Yeah, it's like, dude, man, who the fuck cares?
Well, I get so tired of the these are all features that have been on an Android for fucking 2 years. It's like, fucking so?
Yeah.
Fucking so. It's like, dude, so many Android phones that I've had that have these new revolutionary features. One, either you don't use them, or two, they fucking don't work right.
Yeah.
They don't work right at all. Like all those stupid fucking gestures and stuff on like Samsung phones where you like lift the phone up to your ear and it calls somebody.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you know how many fucking times that like every single time I ever had that enabled, it would like butt dial people constantly.
Yeah.
Like there'd be 50.
It thinks your ass is an ear.
Yeah. But like, oh, you fart and it's like, oh, call mom, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just think to me, I just think it's so funny that literally like they like to cherry pick the features and they like to say like, oh, you know, the Android has a 1300 core processor, and then like they like to leave out the parts to where like the iPhone outperforms it. It's like the iPhone works it's faster or something like that. I don't know, dude. I've become like engulfed in watching tech videos lately. And there's so many tech supremacists out there.
Oh, yeah.
I think that, like, everybody's talking about, like, white supremacists and all those things.
The real supremacist that we need to worry about is tech supremacists.
Fucking A, man. Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, your computer doesn't have SLI GTX 1070s to get linked together with also a i40K CPU in there with 500 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah, I think it's all a fucking scam, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because
nothing could ever use that.
I just think it's funny, dude. I just think it's funny that every phone that I've owned pretty much works the exact same. Like, it's just as fast as the newer generation that I get of it.
Yeah.
Like, they're all the same speed.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's phones shouldn't be coming out every year.
No, because they fucking make them to where they go obsolete. And they start, like, that's why, man, once my phone starts to get old, I don't update it.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Because I swear, dude, it's like these updates are like little death notes that they fucking leave, like
that's exactly what they're there for.
Yeah, they literally, every update that comes out that I put on my phone fucking makes it like 10 times slower.
Exactly.
And it's supposed to be adding all these new features and stuff, but never do I ever fucking, like, actually see some of these little changes that they say they make.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure in the code somewhere for the update, they're like, okay, for the iPhone 6 and 7...
Take a shit and die.
Yeah, exactly. That's the fucking code. It's just like, stop working. You know, that's all it's there for, man. It's just to make you go out and buy a new one.
Every year, dude, they get more expensive. And what I fucking hate, too, man, is that, like, I love in all the reviews, they're like, oh, the iPhone takes $500 to replace the back glass if you break it. And it's like, fucking really? Because I've had the Galaxy Edges, the ones with the edges. Those cost just as much to fucking replace.
Because they had to be Q and put an edge on the screen.
Yeah, the infinity display.
Yeah.
It's like it's infinite. I don't think they understand what the word infinite means. Like, infinite means never ending. The display clearly ends.
It just got a little bigger.
It's like an infinity pool. It's like the illusion of never ending. But, But it does end. Like, you can swim to the edge of the pool and you're like, oh, that's it.
Yep.
Huh. Well, I'll be damned.
That didn't live up to its name at all.
Oh.
But yeah, people just need to chill out about phones.
Yeah, dude, I'm...
If it works, good. That's all that matters.
Well, see, I've always been the person who needs to have, like, the latest and greatest of all the electronic devices. But, dude, I'm starting to get to where I'm not like that. Like, the new TVs and shit, the 4K TVs.
Dude, they're too expensive.
They are. But, dude, do you remember how much they were when they first came out? Like, they haven't been out for, maybe a couple years?
Yeah.
A year or two, something like that. Well, you'd start out and it's like a 40 inches, like $1,000.
Yeah.
For a 40-inch fucking TV. And now it's like you can get a 65-inch 4K for like $1,000. Like, I'm getting to that point to where I'm starting to just wait. Just not get stuff and just wait for however long I have to get a good, decent price on it. And, dude, it even fucking sketches me out, like, buying Black Friday shit, because I'm sure you've heard, like, the rumors of, like, they give you, like, the defective stuff. I don't know if that's true or not. You heard about that?
Well, I have firsthand experience of this because it was, like, 3 years ago that I bought my new TV, and I got it on Black Friday. It was just a 1080p TV, but it was only, like, $200. And it was it's a big-ass TV, and I was like, and this is a really good deal. And I've had that thing ever since. It's never fucked up on me. But I do understand the fucking skepticism of it because, honestly, some of these deals are too crazy.
Yeah, and, well, man, I'm just glad that we're kind of in the day and age to where you don't have to get stabbed over, like, getting a set of curtains on sale.
Thank you.
Like,
really, there's no reason to walk out of your house for anything anymore.
Dude, honestly, though, the age of eBay and Amazon, it's been around for, like, 10 years now. Maybe actually fucking longer than 10 years.
Yeah.
It's been around for longer than that. And I don't understand why it's taken everybody this long to get to the point to where they're like, hey, maybe we should just spread the Black Friday deals out over a week so people aren't fucking, like, murdering each other.
Yeah.
For these stupid deals that aren't even, some of them aren't even fucking good, dude. They're not worth, like, I went to a department store, it's like a Kohl's or something, and literally walked in just to check it out, just to see what the hell was going on, like, what they had, just because fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
You know, I don't work on Black Friday, so I go in there, and there's literally a line that you can go to the register and you can follow this line around, and it literally wraps around. The way the store works is like a giant like square, but it goes in a giant circle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the line literally wraps from the registers all the way around the store, makes a complete pass around it, dude, and goes back to the other side. Like, you come out the other end.
Jesus.
And that's how long this line is. And I'm looking, and there's motherfuckers with, like, 3 pairs of socks.
Yeah.
Like, at like, 3/4 of the way through the line. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm starting to get to where, like, I think of my purchases in terms of, like, okay, you know, $50. How many hours of my life do I have to work to get $50?
Yes.
Okay, so if I have to work, X amount of hours for that, and then I have to wait, you know, X amount of hours in line, and the amount of hours in line is how many hours it took for me to make that money. That's essentially like I'm paying double the price.
Yep, that's exactly how it is.
Like, you start to think of your life and your time in terms of currency.
Yeah, and dude, that's the best way to save money, dude. Because if you start thinking about your life like that, you're like, dude, is this popsicle, you know, like...
Is it worth this chunk of my life?
Yeah, dude, you're like... Fuck, dude, that was like almost like that was like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
you
man,
know, it's like, fuck that.
I think the same thing about the people that like stand in traffic all day collecting change for like a charity or something.
Yeah.
Man, honestly, like those people, I commend them for wanting to help out a charity and stuff. But to be quite honest, I think that
you would make more money.
Yeah, you could
by
literally,
working.
Yeah, you could literally just go work for 6 hours and give more money to that charity than you raised by standing in traffic.
Yep.
It's like it almost makes me to where I'm like cynical about it. I'm like, yeah, oh, just look at me helping charity out. It's like you could literally just go to work for 6 hours, and you probably took off work to do this, right? You could have just went to work and then just gave all that money to the charity and made 3 times as much.
Yep. That's exactly what you could have done.
Because half the time, man, you know, I mean, fuck, dude, I don't care. Like, they need to have, like, a debit card reader or something. I'd maybe be more prone to doing... And, I mean, what a dangerous place to donate money. In the middle of traffic.
Yes.
Like, why don't they do that
That
shit?
always scares me that I'm accidentally going to run over one of their foots or something, you know?
Yeah, or you're actually accidentally going to hand them, like, $100 instead of $1 because you're in a rush and the light just turned green.
Oh.
Like, why don't they stand outside of stores and do that? Like, right outside the parking lots. Like, right off the fucking...
Yeah, nobody's in a hurry.
Yeah.
There's not some asshole behind you fucking honking his horn, being like, hey! You know?
And I'm sure that there's plenty of stores that would want the free publicity, you know, like, oh, look, you know, we're charitable. We allow charities to come. I mean, they let fucking Girl Scouts sell cookies.
Yeah.
Why can't they let, like, the Red Cross or something, or...
Have all the fucking firefighters stand outside of fucking Chick-fil-A. That's the best place to get charity.
Yeah.
Fucking Christian restaurant, you know, it's like, just sit outside in their parking lot. And you know, they're not going to have a problem with it. They're like, oh, we're helping out our community.
That's perfect. Why don't they do it in drive-thrus? You're already sitting there waiting anyways. And
Exactly.
And then the people collecting money, they got more time to guilt trip you. Because you're sitting there waiting in line. Well, then in that case, I mean, Chick-fil-A may not be the best place because the line don't go very fast. It goes very, very fast.
Yes.
But, like, you could go to, like, a McDonald's or, like, a KFC because they take a KFC
they take
takes
like
forever.
2 hours.
Yeah, so they got plenty of time to sit there and just be like, man, God's watching you, motherfucker. just so you know. Like, you're on camera. Like, you're on camera there. Everybody's safer. You know, no motherfucker's going to, like, reach his hand down in there and then drive off real quick. Because there's, you know, he's pinned between 2 cars.
Yeah.
You know.
Dude, the way I see it, they'd be like, if I was one of those guys trying to guilt trip somebody at a drive-thru, I'd be like, hey, man, how's it going? You know, and, like, try to, hey, man, you watch that new sports game or whatever that was going on here recently? And they'll be like, yeah, man, whoever team they like, I'd say I like. You know, I'd like try to be friends with them. You know, be like, hey, man, you want to go get a beer sometime? They'd be like, oh, dude, you know what? That sounds really good. It'd be like, but hey, you know, man, you don't have to, but man, here's this bucket. If you could just like throw some money in it and be like, well, damn, dude, we just had this whole conversation. I can't just be an asshole and say no now.
Right. They need one-on-one charity sessions.
Yeah.
Just have people, you know, they should do that whenever you go to do your tax returns. You're sitting down having this one-on-one financial conversation with somebody, and then you tell them how much you're getting back from their tax return. And you'd be like, look, man, you know, that's quite a chunk of change you got there. You know who would appreciate a little bit of that? And you know, you and I both know you can afford it. That's quite a bit of money. That's money that...
I mean, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to buy a new TV? You going to put a down payment on a new truck?
All right, how about giving a little kid a new liver? Huh?
Yeah.
How's that? Doesn't that sound much better? Doesn't that... You're going to sleep a lot better at night if you get that.
Yeah.
They need to... That's what they need to do. They need to have fucking partnerships with, like, places like that.
That's right, down. Dude. They would make so much
you have
more
like
fucking money.
You have a divorce court mediator, and he's sitting there and like, look, so we're dividing up your assets, and they in total, the amount comes up to $1.5 million in assets. So I mean, you guys are pretty wealthy.
Yeah.
You know, you guys ever donate to charity? No. Well,
how about y'all split the difference and just give this house to a kid?
Yeah. There's a child in Africa that would love this house.
Yeah.
And for just give it to us, and we will ship this house to this kid in Africa. I'm just saying, like, if you want to be greedy sons of bitches, I mean, you know.
Yeah, for real. It puts a lot of shit in perspective.
Dude, those divorce courts, man. Those divorce
Jesus.
here, like, there's some people that get some crazy shit, that get some crazy deals out of two people's lives being turned upside down.
Oh yeah.
Like
Especially the fucking lawyers, man.
yeah. Like I heard there's this guy that I know. He's an older gentleman. He said he used to be in the army, and he was stationed at some military base in Texas somewhere in the heart of Texas. And his buddy there, one of his bunkmate or whatever they're called, he used to always just like dig through Craigslist. Just, you get bored in between, doing drills and just cleaning bathroom grout with fucking toothbrushes.
Yeah, and fucking moving hundreds of pounds of ammo just 10 feet all day. That's all you do is just move it from here to over here.
Yeah. So in between that, he would go on Craigslist and just kind of see what the hell was going on in each city, what people were selling. Well, he came across this, it's like a brand new Dodge Viper. And dude, Dodge Vipers ain't cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like, I'm just going off what the guy said, but he said this particular model, brand new, the exact one that he was referring to was like $100,000.
Jesus.
$100,000. Well, he said this guy came across this Craigslist ad, and it was this Dodge Viper for $5,000. And he was like, no fucking way. Had tons of pictures of everything, of like the service history, blah, 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 blah. It looked legit. And he's like, what the fuck? There's no way. This is impossible. So he calls the person who posted the ad, and he goes out to take a look at it. And he gets to this house, and he's like, so what's wrong with it? What's the joke? Is this stolen? He's like, be honest with me. Like, is this stolen? He's like, I'll still buy it even if it is.
Yeah.
But I just want to know, is this stolen? Which is pretty fucking sketchy.
Yeah.
She's like, nope. It's like, it's not. It's like, found out my husband was sleeping with the secretary, and I ended up getting all of his guns and this car in the divorce. And he's like, well, ma'am, do you know how much this car is worth? She's like, I know exactly how much this car is worth.
Oh.
She said, I just know it's really going to piss him off when I show him exactly how much I sold it for.
Oh.
He buys the car, runs the shit out of it for about a month and a half, and then he sells it for like $75,000, dude.
Oh,
he made like
my
70 grand on
God.
this fucking car. Luckily he was able to sell it. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, dude. I'm like, oh my God, that's why don't I ever come across deals like that, man? People do that. They'll like sell like $2,000 guns for like $400 because they're just like, it'll piss my husband off.
Yeah. Oh my God, women.
I'm like, I'm
Women.
pissed off for your fucking husband. Oh
That's
my
what
God.
I'm saying.
Which,
Jesus.
I don't blame him for wanting to stick it in the craw of the motherfucker that did him wrong, but
Damn.
man, oh my God, the sting. The bitterness that I experienced just from that is fucking almost like I can't deal with it.
God damn. I need to find.
I feel like I'm doing somebody dirty, man. I feel like I've just committed a crime.
That's
for getting
what I'm
such a good
saying.
deal.
I need to go find this guy and give him a handshake and say I'm sorry. Like, man,
You want to take her for one last spin?
Yeah.
Just, throw him the keys.
Oh shit, dude, that's fucking crazy. I'd love to come across something like that.
Yeah, but you won't.
You won't. No.
You will not. Anyways, let's get on to a little bit of mansplaining.
Okay.
So mansplaining is a segment to where I'm going to tell you it's something different every week because
It's very fluid.
it's very fluid. It's fluid just like your gender, and
It's very progressive.
it's very, well, I wouldn't say that. I would have,
The term mansplaining, very progressive.
yeah. Well, essentially in mansplaining, we take a subject, a topic, an idea, we kind of flip it on its head and maybe provide a new perspective, something that you maybe hadn't thought of before. Or sometimes it's just simply something that just fucking enrages me.
Yep.
Or enrages Box. But Box doesn't, I don't know. Nothing really gets him that angry.
Yeah, I'm very cool and collected.
Just very chill.
Very chillax. As the kids say.
Yeah, you're a fucking child. This week in mansplaining, appetizer samplers.
Mmm.
At like like you ever been to a restaurant, and I know everybody's done this, and you can't decide what looks good on the menu. Like nothing looks good to you, or maybe too many things look good, and you just can't figure out what you want as like an entree. And then you go to the little appetizer section, and you see they've got like 5 different things, 5 different appetizers that look good, but they're like $7 or $8 a piece.
Yeah.
So you go with the nice, convenient little appetizer sampler to where you get smaller portions of each thing, but you get like 5 different things.
Yeah.
Well, those appetizer samplers are fucking bullshit.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a good deal to me.
Well, first of all, I don't think that, like, I eat shitty enough at home.
Yeah.
Like, I'll eat like, what's for dinner? Some Cheetos, a fruit roll up, an ice cream bar, a ham sandwich, and then like a single piece of lettuce. Bon appetit.
Yeah. The lettuce is just because you felt bad about everything else.
Yeah. The water, and it's going to make me shit my pants and just make it pass through my intestines quicker.
Yeah.
So, I don't like the idea of snack, like finger foods, being made into dinner. I have the same problem with like baby showers and weddings and shit. It's like meatballs, little meatballs on toothpicks. That's not fucking dinner.
No.
It's not dinner. I go to a restaurant so that I don't have to eat frozen foods that I microwave.
Yeah.
And it's always the same shit. It's like the shitty buffalo chicken, like the boneless chicken wings, mozzarella sticks that whenever you take a bite, all the fucking cheese comes out in the first bite.
Yeah.
Like, and it just leaves like a hollow husk, like a shell of breading.
Yeah.
That you're not sure how it's so stiff that it prevents itself from collapsing in like a fucking neutron star or something.
Yeah.
And
then fucking cheese fries.
Yeah, and then like they've got like the potato skins.
Yeah.
Or here's the little quesadillas, the chicken quesadillas.
Yeah.
Cut into little triangles.
Yeah.
Always the same fucking shit.
With no cheese in them.
Yeah, no cheese. It's just like 2 tortillas that are stuck together with, for all you know, it could be, there's so little substance in between there. It's as if someone spit inside of them.
Just to get them to stick together.
Just to get them to stick together long enough to throw the thing in a fucking like one of those little panini presses or something.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But not only do I think that it's like it's wrong because they're snack foods and because it's just overindulgent. There's just too much going on there.
Yeah. At some point you got to realize too much is too much.
Yeah, it's like what happened to like this food goes with this food. Like when you drink a wine with dinner, certain wines go with certain flavors.
Yeah.
Right? You're having fish, you can have this type of wine.
Yeah.
You're having a nice rare steak. Oh, well, this type of wine goes with it.
Yeah.
It goes against all appetizer samplers go against all conventional wisdom in terms of cooking and eating food. None of this goes together. You don't have ice cream and lasagna on the same plate.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, there's just certain things that just go together. Like hamburgers and fries. It's like, you don't switch that formula up.
Yeah, imagine having hamburgers and then, like, raw oysters. Like,
yeah.
That's what an appetizer sampler is.
Yeah.
It's like, it's fucking...
You're fucking right.
Yeah. It's not... It doesn't... Like, ask any chef. Like you want good food? Go talk to a chef. Go talk to a person that's dedicated their life to the art of food.
Yeah.
And eating, consumption, preparation, pairing of food. Talk to one of them.
Go talk to Guy Fieri.
Yeah. Well,
Downers, drive-ins, and dabs.
that show's gross, but like I like the show, but it's just him eating.
Yeah.
That's it. And him going,
oh man, look, you see this cheese just dripping off this?
Watch me fucking slurp it. Yeah, that's that show. But and another thing is, man, it's like, you know, none of the things on there, obviously, just by nature of it being a sampler, nothing on there is full sized. Like, you don't get
you never get satisfied with anything that you have.
So, like, what happens if I really like the mozzarella sticks? What if I want more of them? Well, I mean, I'm there's no little small, like, 25 or 50 cent add-on to where I can get an extra couple mozzarella sticks, I either have to buy another fucking sampler for $11.95,
Yeah.
or I have to buy a full order of mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
At that point,
At that point, your whole meal is mozzarella sticks.
right. So it got me thinking. I was like, man, I recently got as a gift one of those. You ever seen like a cologne sample pack?
Yeah.
So those are fucking cool because they give you like 20 different colognes. You get to test out every single one, and then whichever one you like the most, you can go into the store, hand them a little card, and they give you a full size bottle of it.
Yeah.
So like, if I
and
like,
also if you got different moods, you got different colognes to use. You'd be like, I'm feeling this one today.
right?
So
It gives you a good idea of what you might like.
yeah.
Like the idea of the sampler is that's what it's supposed to do, and then it gives you an out. It's like, oh hey, you really like this? Well, look, this one's on us. You can have this full size bottle.
Yeah.
It's full size bottle for this. Just take in this little card. It gives you that option. They don't have that option at restaurants.
That's true.
They should. They
That's
should. What
true.
kind of marketing scheme? Like, you look at all these like shitty, washed up, worn out, Axl Rose looking fucking restaurants like TGI Fridays and shit. They had their heyday like back in the 90s and stuff. What? You want to revive these old restaurants that are crumbling? Fucking Applebee's? That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Like little shit like that nobody else does. It's like other industries, like the perfume and cologne industries, they've got your solution ready.
Yeah.
It's there. It's done. Like you don't have to think about it. You don't have to do research. You don't have to have group meetings. You say, hey, this works for these guys. Well, let's fucking give it a try.
Yeah. But I think the reason why they don't though is because food expires. So they would have just a lot of, if people like one thing on the platter, the rest of the food would just go bad.
So why don't they do this? Why don't they make the appetizer samplers like smaller, even smaller portions? And
Yes.
what if they just make them fucking like complimentary? What if you go in and you're just like, hey, or you're like, hey, you can pay $1 and get a sampler of all these, and then whichever one you like the most will bring you out the full size order.
Yeah, make it like the fucking like Texas Roadhouse like fucking bread rolls.
Yeah, complimentary.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
See, I need to like get into the restaurant business.
That's a good idea.
Because like there's certain things that people are they're like for example, you go to a burger joint. Say you got a full bar there, and that's one of your main selling points of your restaurant. Like, how about you pay like an extra added on price, and you get a guaranteed like 3 beers.
Yeah.
3 beers or something like that, like refills. Like they give you a small limit on it, but there's just like, dude, that's how you sell shit to people. You make them think that they're getting just like a deal that's too good to pass up. And yeah, maybe you're not making as much money on it as you would if you sold 3 of those beers individually, but that's 3 beers that you fucking sold that you otherwise may not have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Moving that product out of, the flow of the product in and out of your restaurant or any business, for example, like that's gonna create wealth. It's like McDonald's. You think they're making like a massive profit on fucking dollar drinks? No, but they sell so many of them.
Yeah.
The profit margin doesn't matter.
Well, then I guess I'm proud to announce that the Mantis Show is opening a restaurant.
Come try our quesadillas. They're really fucking good, and they don't have spit in them.
Yes, we've upgraded to boogers.
There's at least some chewiness there, I guess. I would imagine.
It's protein.
Protein. Speaking of businesses, what do you think about the all the net neutrality stuff that's going on? Give me the full rundown. What's your opinion?
My opinion on net neutrality? Well, I've thought about this for a while because I used to be, I used to be all in on net neutrality, and then for a little while, I was like, I was skeptical of it. I heard some different opinions.
Wait, first of all, let's explain to the audience that may not have any fucking clue what we're talking about. What is net neutrality, Box?
Okay, net neutrality is where an internet service provider they get packets of information from the internet, and they have to treat them equally, no matter what kind of packet of information it is, whether it's video or an email or whatever. They have to treat them all equal.
Yeah, and all websites are allotted the same amount of bandwidth, the same amount of speed, while visiting them.
Yeah. So net neutrality makes sure that the ISP can't prioritize anything other, willy-nilly. Everything has to be equal. So with net neutrality gone, there's speculation that internet service providers could charge different prices depending on what kind of internet you're using. Like video will be like, it'll be like cable subscriptions where it's like, oh, you want the video package?
Yeah, the one where you can, the streaming package, or like, say you're a video gamer. They're like, oh, well, it's extra money for this, or, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So on and so on.
So I used to think net neutrality was super important, and then I heard some differing opinions, and then I was against net neutrality, and now I think I'm back with net neutrality again. Because after thinking about it for a little while, I've heard some more voices, and I think it's important because I heard something that really changed my mind. Because one argument people always say against net neutrality is it stifles innovation. And I thought about that for a little bit, and the internet has just gotten faster. It just continues to get better and better with net neutrality. So, and if you go to Silicon Valley, they're always innovating. Always. That's the whole thing of Silicon Valley, is they're always innovating. And I feel like that argument is moot.
Yeah, so you're saying that you're saying that the argument is that it stifles innovation, net neutrality does, but it's self-evident that it doesn't due to the fact that there has been innovations.
Huge innovations.
While this was in place.
Yeah. So that argument went moot for me. And then, there's always the argument of like, well, do you want the company to be in charge of this, or do you want the government? And that is extremely divisive for me because I don't like the government. And
correct point. Ding, 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 ding.
And then I also do not like fucking cable companies at all because they're the biggest assholes on the fucking planet. But I understand they're a business. They're supposed to make money. That's the whole point of a business. But the thing is, with the internet houses other businesses. And this is where it gets really weird for me because if I leave it to an internet provider, they can stifle other businesses, which is anti-competitive and is bad for the free marketplace, free market capitalism. So that's where my thing is I understand where they're coming from, where, you want to charge more. Well, just do it. Just do it right now. Nothing's stopping you from charging more right now. They already do. What's the difference between them doing that and, because let's say, internet streaming is a lot more, so it's really expensive to move that data across. So it's like, why not just charge people more now with net neutrality to make up the cost instead of taking it away and then putting another package on there? You don't even need getting rid of net neutrality does not fix that problem. You can just charge people more now. You're already a business. You can do what you want.
Right. So if net neutrality didn't exist, in theory they could be either segmenting your bill into different little sections. I mean, so that's the thing too.
And that's the whole thing I got rid of cable is because I don't like the segmented bullshit.
Well, so
I want to be able to do what I want when I want it to.
Well, so some would say though that would offer more customization because it's like, imagine you have a health insurance policy and then you have a one-stop shop, one-size-fits-all health insurance policy box. You go to the hospital, you check, you go get an MRI. Well, your health plan covers having an MRI, but then you also notice that, your health insurance also covers birth control. You'll never need birth control or a mammogram, or you'll never need to take a trip to the gynecologist.
Yeah,
well,
that's
at least
fucking
I hope
true.
Not. So like you have these extra costs that are factored into your health insurance just by having this one size fits all policy. But say that, And say with the cable, for example, you're paying for, say, channels that broadcast in Spanish. Well, you don't speak Spanish, or say you don't like sports. Why would you want sports channels, or say some type of mainstream news network that you really think's a corrupt, pile of shit, which is pretty much all of them. You say you don't want to support them monetarily. Well, you're bundled into that, so you have no choice.
Yeah.
But say if net neutrality wasn't there, they could say, okay, so literally all you do is stream videos, browse a couple forum websites or something like that, and then you play video games. All right, well, we're not going to charge you for like massive database, like downloading sites or something. I don't fucking know. I'm not like an expert on it, but I'm just saying, like, is that a viewpoint that you've considered? That maybe you're already paying for shit that you don't need?
I've already considered that, but the thing is, I use pretty much all aspects of the internet as is. There would be nothing. I would have to pay for everything anyway. Because I use my email all the time, so I would have to have that package, and I use video streaming constantly, and then I use gaming, and I do go onto websites, and I read lots of news and all kinds of things. I use every single aspect of the internet that could be segmented into packages, except for like if, let's say, like Comcast or whatever, they don't like Amazon and they prefer eBay. They could just fuck Amazon, and that's not, and that's the thing. I would like to be able to use Amazon and eBay, because one of them might have a better deal. That's better for the consumer.
Well, so
that's the one thing that bothers me the most about it, is that there's some companies that have grudges against other companies on the internet, and that bothers me.
Yeah, that they have stakes in it all.
Yeah, because as a consumer, I'm all for about what's the cheapest, because that's what free market capitalism is about, is giving the consumer the best deal for the best price. And I don't want any fucking middlemen in the way. Middlemen always make shit more expensive.
Right, but the government is a middleman in this sense also.
And I understand that. I understand. And the thing is, with net neutrality, is the government, even if you take net neutrality away, the government can still, Congress can still pass a law to add regulations to the internet, whether it's there or not.
Right.
So it doesn't, the government's always a middleman, no matter if you get rid of it or take it away or whatever. No matter, it's a moot point. And after thinking about that, I really think there's no reason to get rid of it. It's worked so far for so long. We don't really see any huge, we're not impacted really badly by it being here, so why fuck up something that's not really broken?
Yeah, so it's pretty much the company's problems, but the thing is that a lot of these companies, they're some of the most profitable companies in the world, and
they've managed to get geographical monopolies over all across the country, which is fucked up. I really think that should be addressed.
So I think that, yeah, I definitely think that it's funny to me, because Google Fiber is supposed to be coming to our city.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Time Warner, now they're called Spectrum or
whatever they're called.
They they had this whole spiel that they threw at the city government. They spent all this money on lawyers, and they basically tried to block Google Fiber from coming in.
Because they want a monopoly.
They're like, this is our territory.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, the same issue that I have with health insurance. People selling health insurance.
We should be able to buy shit from across state lines.
Right. And you should be able to be. So the thing with health insurance is, I could understand, certain segments of the population, say you live in an area that's at a higher risk for, I don't know, some sort of type of disease. Like if you're in South America, you're at a higher risk of certain fungal diseases. And certain
there's different shit that people gotta worry about.
Yeah, like insect-borne illnesses, things like that.
Yeah, like people in Florida gotta worry more about the West Nile virus than people in fucking North Dakota do.
Right. So that goes into that's put into your kind of plan.
Yeah.
So your geographic location can go into like say you live out in the country, like for the internet, your location can be used to determine how much your premium's going to be, but where the service is being provided from shouldn't have any effect on it at all.
Exactly.
Like if you're
if there's a better deal across the state line, I should be able to get that.
Right. So I think that we're looking into getting rid of net neutrality and doing these things, and really what we should be doing is freeing things up, like freeing like we're doing the internet companies too much of a favor right now. And we're limiting free market access to things because literally a company can just come in, lock down an entire section of a state, and then you have no choice but to purchase, a cable or internet subscription from them.
Or just don't have it.
Like, yeah,
that's it.
They have the rights. They have the rights to your area. Yeah. It's like, name one other fucking thing. It's like a fucking gang war.
Yeah.
It's like you've got two gangs pitted against each other, and one has their territory that they fucking peddle drugs in, and then the other one has theirs. Yeah. And that you don't cross lines, no borders.
And the only way is if you're lucky and you fall in the overlapping circles of their territory where you have an option of two people. That's it, two companies. But for the most part, you're stuck with one. And that's the thing, man. I really hope, I think the way out of this is with if somehow we can figure out how to have faster satellite internet. That way people can have fast internet anywhere.
Or you don't even need the satellite internet. So I don't know exactly how that works, but I know that the internet reception that I get on my cell phone comes from towers.
Yeah.
It comes from, these like radio towers or whatnot, whatever. Why don't they just have some sort of
That's a good point.
Like some sort of receiver to where Verizon can provide your home with internet.
Yeah.
And it's all Wi-Fi. There's no fucking setup required. There's no additional hardware. If you're not developing additional hardware that you have to install in your home, one, the manufacturing cost of that hardware, gone. Yeah. The installation cost, gone. And just the overall the overall headache of it is just completely gone. All the extra little cords and cables and all that bullshit. Why don't they just have it to where all these wireless devices, you can just sit them down in your home, connect to the Verizon Wi-Fi network, type in your login information, your passcode, and you're all in one giant. Because technically, if you get down to the root of it, we're all sharing one giant bandwidth.
Yeah.
Right? One giant internet connection. We're all on the same fucking connection anyways.
It's just there's people who are the gatekeepers.
Right.
To that.
Why not just bypass all of that unnecessary shit and just have it to where the internet comes straight to your house? You can connect straight to it, and instead of spending all that money on all these fancy satellites and all this other shit, we can just have more cell phone towers built, and that solves the issue of rural towns and communities not having cell phone reception.
That's a good idea.
That's like two birds with one stone.
Yeah, and it gets rid of the whole, monopoly situation, because it's like, oh, if you got a problem, if there's not enough options, just build a fucking tower in the area. Towers don't take up a lot of space.
No, and they're a hell of a lot cheaper to upkeep than a satellite.
Or building infrastructure into, underground cables and all that shit throughout the city. It's like, dude, just build one tower,
Right. And it's literally, and you can think of it this way. It can save on, look, every fucking ounce of damage you do to your home. You drill a giant hole in the side of your house to run a cable into it.
Yeah.
It's like, man, would you rather do that or not do that if you didn't have to?
Yeah. That's a good point.
And you got to have strangers come into your fucking house. And there's always, you got to think too, it's going to cut down on cost of having all of these customer service representatives that these technicians that you got to call when you have internet issues.
They're like, oh, well, yeah, we'll be there in like 2 weeks.
And it's always like, oh, well, it could be this. Did you reboot this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? There's like 300 things you have to go through.
Yeah.
Whenever it's like, if it was all centralized and they handled all of it, every bit, like Verizon, I can tell you this, I've never had an issue to where I have signal in a spot one day and I don't have it there the next day.
Yeah.
My internet always works on my phone. It's more reliable than the internet, my home internet connection.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show that's purely anecdotal, but they could easily improve your internet experience by doing that. And I don't know if I finished my point about like those representatives. If you don't have those motherfuckers like sitting there like telling you to unplug your router and plug it back in, that's like so much money that you're saving by paying hundreds of people to do that and be on call.
All you gotta do
24/7.
is just pay for upkeep,
right,
on like maybe the servers, but mostly the towers.
But they're doing that anyways.
Yeah,
that's cost that's already there.
You don't have to pay for fucking all these company vans and all this shit to
And
have
I can
people
tell you
go
this,
out to places.
Cell phone companies and their data packages and their data plans are much more competitive. That market is a lot more competitive than the cable market.
Yes.
Cable's been around so long, and just home ISP providers that they already they're rooted into the ground, dude.
Yeah.
It's time for there to be a change with that. And the cable portion is already changed. It's switched over to like online streaming services.
Yeah.
But they're still the gatekeepers of the internet.
Yeah.
So maybe that's going to be the next change. Maybe the next change is going to be that there are no like ISP providers in the conventional sense. It's just going to be people like Verizon and Sprint and AT&T that are already sharing airways.
Yeah, that makes sense. And and the fact that they already go all across the country, they all overlap with each other, so there's no monopolies in any areas.
Right. It's like everybody can access. They don't need to run some special cable to your house. They're just like, hey, tune into our network.
Yeah. You would just call them. They would set that shit up or whatever, and bam. Or maybe the way that they would get it is like, you know how you have your like Wi-Fi router and all that shit. Maybe there's like a special box that picks up on those signals, then boosts it into your house or whatever.
Yeah, but you literally just plug it into your wall.
Yeah, because that box gives you access to that.
Yeah,
network.
like it's got like an antenna or something, like a large antenna or something that just protrudes from the top of it.
Yeah, and you need that box to have access to the network or whatever, so you can get it in your house, whatever. That way, it's not just somebody, any Joe Schmo just can access it without paying. But
and that way you can bring your internet with you wherever you go.
Yeah,
you bring your.
It doesn't
internet
have to stay in your house.
Exactly. So say you go camping, you can just bring your box with you, and they could even just have it to where it's like I have the option of a Wi-Fi hotspot on my phone already.
Dude, this is a $1 million idea.
Why? Yeah. Why don't they do that?
This is literally $1 million idea.
I have lots of those.
I feel like we need to talk to somebody about this because this is actually
maybe we shouldn't air this episode.
This is a really good idea, man. I feel like a lot of people might grab onto this idea.
No, that's
good.
my luck.
That's good. I mean, honestly, I'll be happy if somebody. Verizon, I hope you're listening.
No, and guess what? If they do, we have the intellectual rights to this. We could go file a patent. Like if we see that somebody comes out with this, we can say, hey, no, in this episode of the Mantis Show, we said this idea and somebody fucking stole it from us.
Yeah. You know what, man? I honestly hope somebody. I hope somebody does steal it because that's fucking genius.
Yeah, it would make my life better.
I would love to take my internet with me wherever. I could just take a fucking TV and a PS4, wherever I want to go, and have my home Wi-Fi. I have the same speeds no matter where I go. That's fucking awesome. That's a genius idea. It's fucking genius.
Thank you. See, these are the type of revelations that are uncovered on the Mantis Show. Not always.
Not always. Most of the time we just talk about shitting and like fart jokes and wieners.
But we do have thoughts in our heads. And we do we do uncover things, hidden truths.
Yeah, that
And
is definitely one.
You know, that's part of like, man, lots of things don't make sense. And if you sit and you talk about them and how fucking stupid things are, you're bound to come up with a solution.
Yeah.
If you do it long enough. At least we are, you know, some people maybe not.
Yeah. Well, now that we've kind of gotten through all that,
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up something else that was internet related. I want to know.
Blah, 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 blah. We're running a little long. How about we save that for next week?
Yeah, that's true. That's
Sound
true.
all
We'll
right?
save this spicy content for next week.
Hot content. It's hot off the presses. Well, you've been listening to the Mantis Show. Thanks for tuning in with us again this week, guys. And make sure to check us out on Twitter at The Mantis Show and at Box Watterson. One of us will eventually be more active on there. I've been trying to retweet stuff. I did a few things in the past few days, Box.
And if you're Verizon, give us a tweet.
Yeah.
Give me some DMs.
Yeah, slide right into my DMs, okay? Because we can get something worked out. I could get like a little position on your like council.
Board of directors.
Yeah, there we go. Board of directors. That sounds good. Yeah. See you next week.